where we take a stack of sources, research, and fascinating history and give you the ultimate shortcut to being well-informed.
Today, we are putting on our hard hats.
We really are. We're about to get into one of the most structurally bizarre games in Nintendo's history, Wrecking Crew, the 1985 action puzzle game.
It's such a foundational title, developed by Intelligent Systems, but, you know, it often gets kind of glossed over in the big story of Mario.
Right, and our mission for this deep dive is to really understand what makes this game so genius, and it all comes down to its constraints.
That's it right there. That's the core.
So get this. We're talking about Mario and Luigi, but they're not plumbers here, they're demolition workers. And the one fact that always just stops people in their tracks is that in Wrecking Crew, Mario cannot jump.
No jump.
None. This is a fixed screen game, so, the screen doesn't scroll, you see the whole level at once, and his only purpose is destruction.
And that single constraint changes everything. I mean, they took away the core ability of their biggest star, which immediately forced the designers to invent these entirely new, physics-based and strategic mechanics. The whole game is this constant tension between thinking ahead, like getting the destruction order just right, and the immediate pressure of enemies chasing you in real time. You have to plan like a contractor, but move like a panic delivery driver.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Most people probably know the game from its Famicom release, but its roots are actually somewhere else.
Exactly. Its roots are in the arcade. The version we all think of, the Famicom one, is what's called an arranged port in a 1984 arcade game, VS Wrecking Crew.
And what's the big difference there?
It's a massive shift in design philosophy. The arcade game was just pure action. It was all about two players going at it simultaneously, all about speed and, knocking your rival off the stage.
But the Famicom version, the one Intelligent Systems made, it pivoted hard away from that. The two-player mode is just alternating turns.
They took out the direct competition, and instead they sort of embedded that tension into the level design itself. So they replaced the simple action layouts of the arcade with these really complex structures and puzzle elements that define the home version. Things like pillars, drum cans, and walls with different durability.
But the objective is still pretty simple on the surface.
Oh yeah, it's deceptively simple.
Yeah.
Destroy all the walls and all the ladder walls in the level. That's it.
But how you do that destruction, that's where the real strategy comes in. I mean, the walls are easy enough. They take 1, 2, or 3 hits.
Right, but the real nuance comes from those cream-colored ladder walls. You need them to climb, but you also have to destroy them to clear the stage.
So it's a resource management puzzle.
Totally. And you have to be so careful. You can only destroy them from the bottom segment with a hammer. But if you use Dynamite, any part you hit, the whole connected structure just vanishes.
And if you mess that up, you hit the game's most infamous feature, the stuck state.
It's so harsh. Because the order of destruction is everything. If you break a ladder you need, or, drop one of those big drum cans and it blocks your path.
You're just stuck.
The stage becomes physically impossible to clear. You have to just give up and reset the whole thing. It's this incredibly unforgiving consequence that exists only because Mario can't jump over a 1-foot-high obstacle.
Right. They had to use gravity and layers to create complexity, which brings us to the pillars. Why are these simple support beams such a big deal in the Famicom version?
Because they're basically the game's entire physics engine. Mario can't leap over a pile of rubble, so the environment itself has to change. When you destroy a pillar, anything sitting directly on top of it, walls, drums, whatever, it just falls straight down.
And if it's a drum can, it falls and then it rolls until it hits something or falls off another edge.
Exactly. So the pillar becomes this amazing dual-purpose tool. You use it to clear things above you, sure, but you can also use it to crush enemies if your timing is perfect.
Or you can completely mess up and create a permanent roadblock.
And that's the whole puzzle. It's about managing these cascading gravitational consequences.
So if bad planning is your worst enemy, who are the things actually chasing you and trying to stop you from pulling off your perfect plan?
You've got this relentless crew of chasers. There's Spagan 1, the orange one, and then the faster purple Spagan 2.
Oh, I hate that guy.
They're simple. They just move in straight lines until they hit a ladder, but they are so effective at just pressuring you into making a dumb mistake.
Then you have the Nasubi Man, the Eggplant Man.
The Eggplant Man. He's fast, but he follows a really predictable pattern. He's easier to avoid on his own, but when you've got him and a Spagan coming at you from different directions...
It's a nightmare.
Yeah. And then there's the fireball. It just zips across the floor, usually right at Mario's height. But the research points out this weird secondary function.
It's a suicide switch.
Yeah, which is a darkly brilliant piece of design.
Green.
If you are well and truly trapped, you can just deliberately run into the fireball, lose a life, and reset the stage.
But the most interesting enemy, the one they added specifically to bring back that competitive arcade feel, is Blackie.
Ugh, Blackie. Or, as Nintendo officially renamed him globally in 2023, Spike.
Poorman Spike, yeah.
He is the ultimate necessary nuisance. Spike operates on the background layer, what the game calls the backside. He follows you and tries to destroy things near you. Walls, pillars, ladders.
And that knocks you down a floor.
Right. He's trying to ruin your day.
But wait, if he's just randomly destroying stuff, doesn't that just throw chaos into a game that's all about precise planning? Why would they put a random AI opponent in a puzzle game?
That's the beautiful dilemma. Spike's destruction is sometimes necessary. Because Mario can't jump, there are some stages where you literally cannot get to a lower area unless Spike destroys the floor out from under you.
So you have to lure him into doing it for you.
You have to turn your rival into your partner. It's genius.
Okay, so let's talk about these layers. Mario's on the front side, Spike and the other enemies can be on the back side. How does that work?
Think of it like a big 2D pop-up book.
Yeah.
Mario's on the main stage where the action is. The backside is like the flat scenery behind him.
And the doors are the key.
Exactly. You hit a door with your hammer or with dynamite, and it opens for a little while, letting characters pass from front to back or back to front.
So it's a survival tactic. You can trap the monsters back there.
Yeah, and it's one of the best moves in the game. If you can trap all the enemies on the backside, they completely stop moving for a bit.
Which gives you that critical breathing room you need to set up a big demolition chain.
And that brings us to the ultimate demolition tool, Dynamite.
Dynamite. It's so satisfying.
It's this moment of immediate, large-scale relief in a really high-pressure game.
It's great because it just bypasses the hammer count. You hit it, there's a short fuse, and boom, it sends out 1 point of hammer damage to everything touching it.
Which means if you set it up next to a whole line of walls, you get this amazing chain reaction.
And that's where the big points come from. The score just multiplies exponentially.
It does. And Dynamite is also the only way to take out big sections of ladder walls at once, which, like we said, is risky, but sometimes you just have to do it.
But the real depth of the Famicom design, I think, comes out in the hidden item formula. This is where it goes from just a puzzle game to something else.
Oh, it gets so wonderfully nerdy here. So Dynamite can spawn scoring items, a pig, Santa Claus, a cat. But the grand prize is the golden hammer.
And it's not random.
Not at all. It spawns on the third dynamite you destroy in a level. But the type of item you get is based on this incredibly specific formula.
Yeah, get this. It's the stage number, plus your total number of hammer swings up to that point. You add them together, divide by 8, and the remainder determines the item.
It's wild. But what it means is that the designers wanted you to be thinking about not just the current stage, but your entire history of actions in the game.
And to get that golden hammer, you need a remainder of exactly 1.
Which means you can't just rush through. You have to be precise. You have to literally count your hammer swings across levels to line up that perfect third dynamite blast.
But if you pull it off and get the golden hammer, which the manual actually calls the super hammer, the whole game changes. The music changes, you get faster.
And you can one-hit destroy any wall, even those awful 3-hit walls. It just collapses the puzzle.
It completely breaks the game, but in the most rewarding way possible.
It does. The sources even talk about how it enables this tricky airwalking technique. The hammer swing gives you a tiny bit of forward momentum.
Right.
So with the super fast swing of the golden hammer, you can just tap it repeatedly near a ledge and sort of walk on air for a second, clearing gaps you normally couldn't.
That's the ultimate prize for being so precise and to briefly break the game's biggest rule.
Exactly.
We should also quickly mention the other secrets, the MARIO or LUIGI letters.
Right, which also require that same level of foresight. They're hidden in specific walls, and if you find all 5 in order, you get a 1 UP. But
if you destroy a pillar and that wall falls,
the letter is gone forever. The game is constantly demanding that you think ahead.
Okay, let's zoom out and look at the overall evaluation. For its time, this game was huge, 100 distinct stages.
100. Plus, it came with a design mode, and if you had the Famicom Disk System version, you could actually save your custom stages.
That's amazing for the era. The strategy was praised, but there are some controversial parts to its legacy, too.
Oh, definitely. The difficulty curve is a brick wall. A lot of players just get completely stuck around stage 20 or 30.
I can see why. I mean, you're managing gravity, chain reactions, enemy paths, and a hammer swing count. The mental load is just insane.
And some of the later stages were criticized as being just tedious, like just giant fields of 3-hit walls that were more about rote labor than clever puzzle solving.
There's also that other criticism about the pacing, that you could pause the game and scroll around freely to plan your moves. Some critics felt that made it too easy.
I don't agree with that at all.
Me neither. Given the real-time pressure from the Spaggins and Spike, the later stages would be flat-out impossible if you couldn't pause to plan.
It wasn't about making it easy, it was about making it fair. It was a necessary compromise to make sure the game was testing your strategy, not just your reflexes.
Right, so looking at its legacy, Wrecking Crew definitely left its mark.
It really did. The sequel, Wrecking Crew 98 for the Super Famicom, went back to more of a fast-paced VS puzzle style, closer to the arcade game.
But the ideas from the Famicom version, they live on, especially in things like Super Smash Bros.
Totally. The Golden Hammer is a huge, game-changing item in Smash. And a great bit of trivia, the series symbol for Wrecking Crew in Smash isn't the Mario mushroom. It's a drum can.
I love that. It gives it its own identity.
And speaking of identity, we found out that Luigi's original color in this game, dark red in the Famicom version, and even pink in the arcade, predates his famous green outfit.
A little piece of history right there. And of course, the fact that Nintendo officially renamed Blackie to Spike in 2023, 38 years later, shows he's still a relevant character.
So when you look at the game as a whole, it's just this phenomenal case study in design by constraint. They took the single most famous thing about their main character,
the jump,
and they just threw it out.
And by taking it away, they were forced to invent all of these complex, layered physics-based mechanics that made the game what it is. It's proof that sometimes having less ability forces more ingenious solutions.
It's not a game about brute force. It's a game about planning your moves 5 minutes in advance and embracing this really strange identity as a demolition man. It asks you to think like an engineer before you swing your hammer.
So we'll leave you with a final thought on that. When a core ability, something you rely on every day in your work, your hobbies, whatever, is suddenly stripped away, what completely unexpected, new, and highly strategic solution might open up for you?
Go explore that thought. And if you want to put this all to the test, both the arcade and the 100-stage Famicom versions are right there for you on Nintendo Switch Online. Grab your hammer and start planning your perfect path to demolition.